Welcome to another episode of Chaos and Pandemonium and a bit of frivolity as well. Back here in Sanur, having a bit of a walk around town and seeing what is happening west side of the bypass. I'm gonna catch up with a friend over at Prapat Beris, the rice fields there, maybe have a beer and then continue on to the other side of the rice fields to an area I haven't really explored on foot before. So I wouldn't mind doing that. But we've got a few things to talk about as well. You'll know that about a week ago, I went over to go and see my dad and help him out with a few things, and I did an episode on that just recently. And so being back in Australia for those few days exposes you to a few things, and one of the things that it exposed me to is having to get to the airport on the back of a motorbike, which is not something I would normally do. I'd normally catch a cab, but because I was only going for such a short period of time, and I had carry-on luggage only, I thought, oh, I'll catch a motorbike down there and it'll be a bit quicker, avoid some of the traffic. And while I was doing that, got into a bit of an accident on the back of the motorcycle taxi, the ojek. And it's not the first time it's happened to me, actually. I've actually been in a bit of an accident before on the back of one of these things. And these guys are the expert drivers, but you can still get into a bit of an accident from time to time. So this is how it sort of went down for me on the back of the motorbike. So I was closing in on the airport, and around the airport these days it's really just full of traffic. There's a few sets of traffic lights there. They seem to always back up at peak hour, and because the flight I was getting was an overnight flight, that meant that I was getting down there sort of late in the day, sort of, I think it was about 6 o'clock I was sort of getting down around there. It was just so jammed up. And normally when you're riding a motorbike here in Indonesia, you nick up the inside of the cars, between the cars and the gutter. That's what you'd normally do. And there's usually a gap there, unless you've got a sort of an inconsiderate driver that sort of blocks it off. You can usually nick up the inside. Sometimes when it gets a little bit chaotic, you'll get some driver that just sort of blocks the whole inside lane. Well, anyway, what happened with me was that there was a bit of an inside lane there, and the motorbikes were in single file going up that inside lane. But the car that was sort of just in front of us was a bit impatient, wanted to keep going but couldn't because there's a car in front of them. And I don't know what it is about these people, but it happens quite often, is that they'll just pull over to the left a little bit because they want to try and get around the car in front, but you can't because there's not enough room. If you're a motorbike, you can do it, but you can't if you're a car. Well, as the bikes are going up the inside, I was the last one in a long line of them. Hang on, I'll just cross the road here because we're into the crux of the story. And I don't want to get run over as I'm talking about having a motorbike accident, not go and get speared by a speeding motorcycle myself. Here we go. All right, back on track. So we're going down quite slowly, but the car just merged a little bit too far to the left. And as we went through, and the other thing was I was on a really small bike like that, a Scoopy. So the Scoopy is a very narrow bike, not really made for big people. And I mean, even though I'm not like that heavy, I'm quite a big human. You know, my legs like stick out all over the place, and I don't really fit on those bikes very well. And there was a big Balinese dude on the front, and my legs are sort of hanging out further than the width of the handlebars. Usually when you're riding the motorbikes, the handlebars are the widest part of the bike on most bikes that you ride around here. So if the handlebars go through, you're usually pretty fine, except if you've got a big white guy in the back whose legs extend beyond that. And especially on a Scoopy, like that really narrow bike, that small bike, my legs extended further along. And my leg clipped the car. Now, I'm not sure what part of the leg hit first, but my foot somehow got inside the wheel well, the front wheel well of the car, and lifted my leg up like whoop, like a ballerina up in the air like that. And as that was happening, some part of the bike ripped into the front fender or the bumper bar or some part of it, and it just, you could hear this metal on plastic thing going like that as my leg was stuck up in the air at 45 degrees. And then the bike riders going, whoa, 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 like that. Like, you could see it coming, like it was pretty close, even though we were going slow. Yeah, so luckily my foot didn't get caught in the wheel or something like that and lose a leg or an ankle or whatever. And all I got was a couple of scrapes and scratches. I didn't bleed, but it felt like it. It felt like I was bleeding, but when I looked down, it's just a few scrapes. Anyway, the guy stopped, the motorbike driver stopped. He spun around, and he said something along the lines of, I can't remember the exact word, but he said something along the lines of, sorry bro. Yeah, sorry bro. And he put his, he did a, I can't do it because I've only got one hand available. He did a peace type thing, like he praying, well, I don't know, what do you call those things, the praying thing. Got back on his bike and he gunned it. He just went whoosh. And I thought, wow, he's not even going to stop to see what the damage is. Car was on the horn. Car obviously wanted him to stop, but he was gone. And then we just zipped through some back streets and he dropped me off. And I guess that's just the way it goes here in Indonesia. Now, who's at fault? Well, this is one of the problems in Indonesia, is those cases, there is no real clear person who's at fault. You know, in Australia, you've got pretty strict rules, and if you've done this, then the police will say you've got that wrong, you did that wrong. Sometimes the insurance companies do a knock-for-knock arrangement where they say, oh, we'll just each pay for each other's respective damage, and they won't sue each other for the entire amount. And here, it doesn't really work like that. Often, the loudest person gets the compensation, or the poorest person gets away with it, or there's a whole range of different sort of scenarios that sort of weigh up who is right and who is wrong. But in this case, well, no one sort of waited around to decide. He was gone. It actually happened once before where I got into a bit of a bingle on the back of a motorbike. Oh, it was a long time ago now, in the city of Surabaya. Had this old guy taking me around on an old clapped out motorbike, and we were going through town, and it's just, I've just felt so cool being on the back of that motorbike. I was fairly new to the whole scene anyway, cruising around this city I didn't really know much about. And at one point, the traffic all stopped pretty quickly in front of us. This dude put his brakes on, but they were no good. So it just sort of came to a slow stop until he hit the bike in front, and my leg speared into the exhaust pipe and got a bit of a burn. That was pretty cool. Good memories. But it just goes to show that, even with the best riders, the Indonesian riders, they still do have accidents from time to time. And the road toll is so huge here in Indonesia. I'm not sure what the latest figures are, but I remember at one point there was over 40,000 road deaths in a year. I'm not sure if that's gotten much better. I think it might have done in recent times. Yeah. Anyway, I'm getting down to Prapat Beris now. The rice fields are looking very dry. They're not really rice fields. All the melons and stuff have been harvested, and it's not all the melons, but most of the melons have been harvested, and it looks like it's having a bit of a rest at the moment. Here we go. Hello, how you going?
Good, yourself?
Good. Hello, Aravin. How are you?
How are you, my friend?
Good.
It's good to see you again.
Yeah, you too. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Hello, how are you?
Ari.
How you doing? Bye.
I'm good.
Yeah. Aravin's got a really great story. Now, you've got a long history with Bali,
Yes.
right? Tell us a little bit about your history. So you don't live here, right?
No, I do not live here.
So what's your story then with Bali?
Yeah. Well, I started coming here in the first time I came here was in the late 80s.
Yeah.
And then after which, having moved to Australia, it's natural for Australians to make it a regular holiday point.
Yeah.
And it's something we did from the time I was young.
Yeah.
But through work and stuff, we for years I didn't have the opportunity, but certainly in the last 10 to 15 years, I've been coming here more often, having moved from Sydney to Perth.
Yeah.
Made it much easier to move between Perth and Bali. It offered me the opportunity to come here more often, and scuba diving is one of my main interests as well.
So you originated in Singapore.
Yes.
At the age of 20 or so.
Yeah, we moved
to Australia.
Yes.
And then you set up your whole life in Australia, and only in the past 10 years you've really had a more close connection with Bali, where you're going back and forth.
10 to 15 years, I'd say.
Yeah. And when you say you're going back and forth, how many times a year are we talking?
Initially, it was once a year, and then it became twice a year. And in the last 2 to 3 years, I've been here probably 4 to 6 times a year.
And is that because your working life is winding down?
That is absolutely correct. So in the past 3 to 4 years, because of various changes in my life and perspectives of life, I've decided to wind down with my work. And it's natural for me to spend more time in Bali, which has grown to become a place that I love for many reasons.
Which places in Bali do you tend to gravitate to?
Well, mainly Sanur as a base. It was always a base, but I will go between Sanur, Ahmed, Pemutran.
Yep.
And I have a couple of very good friends in Ubud who've been living there for years as well, so I go there to visit. But mainly the east as well as right up northwest.
Do you, as time goes on and you really wind down from work, what percentage of time would you say you'd start spending in Bali at that stage?
I think eventually my grand plan would be to spend about half the year here, part of the year in Australia and part of the year in Singapore, where I was originally from. So that triangle, which is quite conducive.
And because Perth is where you're based in Australia, that makes it quite easy, doesn't it? Because 3 hours to Bali.
Absolutely.
How long to Perth to Singapore?
Perth,
about
Singapore
4
is
hours?
about close to 5.
5 hours, yeah. But still very doable.
It is, absolutely. And it's a very conducive, very fitting triangle to be able to fit into.
Oh, that sounds like a perfect sort of slip into, partial retirement, full retirement?
It would be full retirement. I'm planning that for over the next couple of years, full retirement. But of course, there's anything that strikes my fancy in Bali to progress with. I'm open to that.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you very much for being on the channel, Aravin.
You're welcome.
All right, that was cool, wasn't it? Just to have a bit of a chat with a friend and let's keep going on. We've got the melons going on here, but I'm not sure what the story is. I'm not sure if these are, a lot of those look like they're already rotting in the field, unfortunately. I know that up here they were selling them on the side of the path. So we'll get this guy coming past first. Oh, nice bike. That's a nice old bike, that one. I'll see if they're still selling those watermelons up on the path up here. They wasn't just watermelons though, they've got other sorts of melons in there, I think. That's Warung Charik Prapat Beris, by the way. Brilliant spot. And I've got a bindi now. Get this bindi out of my shoe. Oh. What are they called bindis in other parts of the world? So they're those little thorns that you get on your lawn. That's what we call them in Australia, but I guess if you're from somewhere else that's not Australia, what's a bindi? Isn't a bindi that thing that you put on your head if you're in India? I think that's a bindi as well. Got this funny story from last time I went home to Australia to look after my dad, and you'll all be really familiar with it. Especially when you're on your own on some of these planes, you sort of get stuck anywhere on the plane next to people that you don't really want to be next to. I mean, at least if you've got your family around you, sometimes they shield you from all the nasty sights that sort of come along with being on a public aeroplane. But I was just sitting there and it's such a vivid image. And it was a guy and his child had dropped something between the seats. And it was really sort of deep under the seat somewhere. And he's bending over to try and get it. And he was taking up the whole aisle. Hang on, there's a cat up here. Beautiful cat. And dog as well. Look at that cat. Look at the colours of it. Such beautiful colours. Nice calico. Hello. Anyway, he's bent over and he gives me the old plumber's crack. A big pimply old ass right in the face. And it was just terrible. Anyway, he bends over and his jeans slide down ever so slightly. And as those jeans slide down ever so slightly, it reveals hair and pimples. It was disgusting. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. The stupid thing about it is it's like a solar eclipse. You know how you're not supposed to look at it, but you do anyway? It's like, God, get that thing out of my face. And then the smell hits, a little bit of a gentleman's musk, just not too offensive, but a bit of a waft, and you're like, that's flying, we're paying a couple of $1,000 or whatever it is these days to get an airfare to Australia, and you just get that put straight in your face. But that's the way it is, isn't it, you know? But they should be putting that in the safety video, you know, you put your life jacket on, oxygen mask deploy, make sure you put that on your baby first before you put it on yourself, or it's the other way around. You know, there's nothing about what to do if a man's canyon opens up in the road right in front of you. I suppose you just got to try and survive it and get on the best you can. We've all been there, you know. It's just flying these days. I actually enjoy flying, but it's all the additional parts of it that I just don't really like very much. I'm going to take a little turn down here into what they call the jogging track down here. So different parts of this whole area in Prapat Beris are called different things. This is the part they call the jogging track, and it used to be when I first came down here that you weren't allowed to ride motorbikes along here, but it seems as though that rule has sort of gone out the window a little bit now from what I can gather. But you can still jog down here, I mean, if you wanted to. I actually tried jogging down here a few times, but I just couldn't get a good rhythm going down this path, and it's quite exposed as well. There aren't that many trees for most of the track. Now, if you follow this track all the way to the end, you can actually do a loop. Sort of, it comes around there and gets into the back of Sanur around that way. That's possible. I think this time I'm going to try and take a turn up this way somewhere to an area that I haven't really been to before. That'll be pretty cool. It seems that they're now ploughing the fields again. It looks like there's a lot of melons in there that obviously didn't work out. They're ploughing back in. They've also managed to open up the irrigation channel and get water flowing back into the fields again. If you look at this area here, all these fields here are all dry. It doesn't look like they'll ever be used again, because it looks as though there are houses now being built up here, which are fairly new construction since when I first moved here. These ones here are certainly new since when I moved here as well. But while this place still exists, there's hardly a better place in the world for me, especially here when the breeze is blowing like it is now. It's quite pleasant, quite cool. And you know, there's just like birds in the fields. There's a guy over there, he's got a plough going, and you know, there's people walking back and forth. It's just really nice, you know, just so peaceful. And over there's a few kites. There's quite a few actually. It's one of those leaf ones, and yeah, a few other ones as well. So I'm going to go up here and see where this leads. Up where these new houses are, that they've created a new street down here. There we go. I think I can just turn right here and it should lead somewhere pretty cool. Nice house though. Beautiful temple on there as well. So colourful. You'll notice I've got a new shirt on. It's a terry toweling one. It's pretty cool, isn't it? That looks like a 1970s style. I can't remember ever having a terry toweling top before, but I used to have one of those terry toweling hats, which is pretty cool. But this is a terry toweling top, and it breathes quite well as well. Not bad, eh? Also, I've got a new pair of sunnies. Now, I've got these ones because they don't have mirrors in them. Because sometimes, if I've got the camera up to my face like that, it has this effect of mirroring the camera in the mirrors, and it's sort of, I don't know. And I'll turn down here. Oh, they're selling the coupling. Oh, that's those ones, is it? Don't know. Oh, I can't turn down there. That doesn't go anywhere. Yeah, that effect of the camera in my mirrored sunglasses sometimes is a little bit off-putting, I think. Hello, what's your name? Hello. Oh, very cute. Oh, very cute puppies. Very cute puppies. Jumping up. Oh, even a little warung here. That's pretty cool, though. Might just get a little drink, actually. A little cold drink as I go through here. Halo.
Halo.
Ada minuman dingin nggak?
Ada.
Ada apa? Oh, teh.
Itu aja ada.
Ah,
Maaf ya.
nggak apa-apa. Ya, oke, makasih. Ya, habis ya. Oke, nggak apa-apa. Makasih. They've only got little iced teas there. Sort of wanted water or something, but anyway, keep going. It's an interesting little place. It's like these little sort of scattered structures have been built here. That's sort of like a garage of some sort. It's not really a, it's not like villas or anything that have been built here. It sort of goes in line with what I, with what I'd heard, which was that to build on these, this land, usually it has to be just locals that do it, rather than some sort of foreign investor. And it has to be usually quite local people. That's what I was told, like from the local village. I'm not sure exactly what the story is, but that's what I was told. I don't even know where this goes. Oh yeah, I think I know where I am. Yeah, I've been along that little bit before. It's like a little shortcut to the other side of Sanur. Basically, there's these rice fields that separate Sanur from like Renon and so forth, or that part of Denpasar. And there is a little shortcut across here. So I was looking at a property over here once, and they said, oh, there's a shortcut across here, and you try and go through there in the wet season, and you're nearly in the creek. Like, it's not good. And I guess now, looking at this, looks like totally different to what it was when I came that time, because there's houses built over there that never used to be there, and all that's now built out. And that road down there never used to be there. It used to be rice fields. So that's changed in the past. Well, I mean, I've been here for nearly 3 years now. So in the past sort of 2.5 years, it has changed quite a bit. Yeah. Oh, kids flying kites. Hello. That's an odd looking building, isn't it? It looks like it's been there a long time. Some of the steel's rusting, and the wooden door frames look like they're about to give way. It looks like it's been there a long time. Yet some of this looks new. I wonder if this was sort of stuck in the middle of the rice fields for a long time, this property. Wow, this is so weird, this area. You can see how these sort of villages sort of spring up out of nothing. You know, there's people building roads connected to other roads, and the drainage doesn't get put in properly. Like, there's no drain there. It's like a little gutter, but it's not really a drain. And yeah, interesting. Wow, they're small little houses, aren't they? Really small houses. I'm not sure how much land each person's got there, but it's pretty small. Interesting that there seems to be some more budget-friendly places being sort of built around here. How do I get out of here though? That doesn't look like the way to go. Oh, could be. Could be. Wow, interesting area, all sort of being developed. Look at that. I wonder if I can get across there and up there. That might be to the main road. All right, may as well go through. Is that steady? Steady? Yeah, steady. I'm through. Oh, right. Hopefully this cuts through to the main road. I can actually see motorbikes and stuff going up there. That's where I'll go, I reckon. And from there, I should be able to find a coffee shop, because that road, I think it's Jalan Tukad Balian. It's the one that goes at the back of the rice fields. That is a fairly major road in Renon, sort of runs north-south. And I know there's some cafes on that road. There we go. Some more sort of modern style creations going up here. It's all happening, isn't it? Wow. It's all happened pretty quickly. Decent styling too. Decent styling. Nice. There's a little workshop here, a little carving workshop. These guys doing woodworking in here. Look at a little thing. Hello, how are you? Good. Hello, hello. Look at that, carving. The guy's playing YouTube and carving his hand. Hello. That's pretty cool, eh? It's all happening. From Australia. Dari Australia. Yeah. Dari mana aslinya?
Indonesia.
Indonesia mana?
Bali.
Bali mana?
Nusa Penida.
Oh, wow. Sering pulang?
You know.
Oh, I know. Oh, yeah. Makasih ya. Yeah. That's pretty cool, eh? The carvers are out here in Renon. I'm going to try and cross the road here and not get run over. And I might actually keep going west. I know the further I go west from here, the more that I've got a chance of stumbling onto a cafe. Whereas if we're here, I'm going to have to go quite far north, I believe. So I'm going to keep going west. See what we can get over this way. This is some road down a canal. But I think it bumps into another road deeper into Renon, another main road. which is sort of what I've got in mind at the moment. When you live around here and you get around on a motorbike a lot, like I do, going into Renon or Denpasar and so forth, you tend to go and stick on the same roads most of the time. You often don't get down some of these back roads, so it's nice just to get around on foot, going down roads that you wouldn't ordinarily go down. Oh, heaps of watermelons in there. That crop's finished. Yeah, just all the ones that didn't work out are in there. That'll get ploughed pretty soon, I reckon. There's a guy back there doing some welding without any visor on or any glasses that protect your eyes. That's not going to turn out well, I don't think. Oh, look at that tree. That is an awesome tree on the edge with all those roots there on the edge of the canal. Look at it. Isn't that beautiful? Some of you might have seen that Fiasco da Gama, Wayne, and Ben Woodward, who's also another YouTuber that is in Bali as well. All three of us are going to be in the same place at the same time. And that place is Sanur in Bali on the 22nd of August. So the three of us were actually talking, oh, we should just get together and have a drink, all three of us together, because I don't think we've ever met each other as a three. So I've met Ben before, I've met Wayne before, and of course they know each other, but the three of us never got together. So we said, oh, let's go and have a drink together. And then one of us, oh, hello.
Hello.
Yeah, ngonten.
Hello.
Wah, ada tali layangan. Yeah. Yeah. Ta-da. Nice kids, aren't they? Yeah, and one of us said, oh, we should invite some of the viewers along who are around, because of course it requires a bit of a coincidence for someone to be around at the same time. But anyone who wants to sort of drop by while we're having a drink is welcome to do so. So I actually put a little community post up, sort of advertising that recently. So, you know, you're welcome to come along and say hello if you want on the 22nd. We haven't decided on exactly where it's going to be yet, but when we do, we'll put details up. It's not some sort of like big gathering or anything like that, or some big meetup. It's just come and say hello, and you know, if you want to, like, if you've been looking out for any of us and you haven't found us yet, well, you'll know exactly where we are on that particular evening. The way I sort of imagined it to pan out would be something along the lines of some people will just come in and say hello and then go. Some people will stick around and have a couple of drinks. Some people will probably, I don't know, have dinner there. And then, yeah, oh, there's a nice impromptu rubbish dump. That's a bit of a disgrace, isn't it? What a disgrace. Imagine that happening outside your house. Oh, Bali, never change. It's actually pretty bad, isn't it? A bit of rubbish down there. Yeah, and yeah, we're totally flexible with it. Like, we're not really thinking too much about it. Only issue is, only thing that we're really a little bit worried about is that, let's say we go to a small little joint and have a few beers and then like 50 people turn up, that'd be a problem. And we just don't know whether it's going to be one person turning up or 50. So that's the only thing that we've got a little bit of a worry about. But we'll handle that on the day, you know. If it turns out to be something that wasn't expected, well, we'll figure it out. It's interesting because both Ben and Wayne do quite similar videos to me, but we're such different people with such different interests, really. And different lives, you know, different life experiences. So it's good because we sort of contrast a little bit in a way with one another. And even though we do overlap in some ways, we do have our own like little path as well that we're following, which I like, you know. And we don't feel competitive with one another, you know. We're not like comparing how many subs that Wayne has, 120,000, with how many I've got, you know what I mean? Like we're not doing that sort of competitive thing, which is really nice. Here we go. This is a place I was thinking of, this Anma space, because it's got the word coffee in the title. That's got to be a good place for a coffee, I reckon. But it's got to be an ice one. I hope it's open. Oh yeah, it's open. Is it? I think so. Hang on. Where do I go? Go in here. Do I? Or here? No, I'm going this way. I need an iced one, that's for sure. Here we go. Hello. Minta ice latte.
Ice latte.
I reckon there's some sort of co-working space up here. I hope it's not like all serious. Oh, it is all serious. Oh. Yeah, okay. Looks like a corporate headquarters. Don't think I want to sit around here. Might go at the front. That is awful. Awful. Everyone on their laptops. Ke depan aja. Selalu apa? Kayak kantor di atas. This is better. This is what we want. A little seat over here. Heaps better. Okay, got my iced latte there. 31,500, all inclusive of tax and so forth. I don't think I'm going to use a straw. Let's give it a go. Looks good. Slightly weak looking, but it looks good. Mantap. Love it. Yeah, it's a good coffee. Not too weak at all, actually. Really good. Oh, super icy. Beautiful. Need that. Yeah, that's good. That's real good. The thing is, at the moment here in Bali, the weather is just so cool. So much cooler than I remember it. So I went for a run this morning, 12 kilometres. And it was pretty easy. Like, I didn't really get much of a sweat up or anything. And then today, I don't know how many kilometres I've walked today, maybe 5Ks already to here. Because I actually walked from home to the rice fields first before I even started filming. So I've gone 17 Ks and I'm not even really that tired because the heat's not really oppressive. It's just really amazing, amazing weather right now in Bali. It's a great time of year. I mean, of course, the cooler season's always a good time of year anyway, but this year, I don't know if I've adapted or what it is. I just feel as it's a tiny bit cooler, really beautiful. There is a strong breeze all the time, which is nice, but that's pretty common anyway in the dry season here. I've been thinking about doing a few more videos. I might go to Lombok, I might go to Gili Air again. So when I took Susan to Gili Air on that day trip a few weeks back, she loved it and she sort of wants to go there for a few days, and I think it's a pretty good idea as well, just to sort of mix things up on the channel. And then she said, but she doesn't really like that fast boat. And I was sort of thinking the same thing. I think the slow boats, well, it's slow, but it's more enjoyable. So we might do this sort of slow boat across towards the end of the month and spend a few days over there. Maybe do some other parts of Lombok that we've never been to as well. I reckon that could be pretty cool. So I'm going to think about that. I think I will. There's no point sort of signing off your videos. Make sure you hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with all things Sanur and Indonesia if you're not doing the rest of Indonesia and you're only in Sanur all the time. So I will be doing that. I've been giving some thought about some other places in Indonesia as well. Like, I really would love to go to Ambon in the east, but that requires a little bit more planning. So I will try and do that as the months go on. This year, in the dry season especially, I think I should try and get to some of these places. I mean, I do love Indonesia, so I should be traveling a little bit more. We'll see. And lastly, I just wanted to touch on the issue of motorbikes here. And because that's how we started the video off, and that is that if you do decide to rent a motorbike here, one of the really important things to do is to make sure that you go slow and that you don't try and impose your right of way onto other people. So you are in the right in your mind. Don't think that means that you're not going to crash like it would in the West. So if you're on a straight road and you're on a motorbike and you think, well, I've got the right of way here, no one can pull out in front of me because it's my right of way, therefore I can go fast. Yeah, sort of opening yourself up to a crash. The reason I bring it up is because I've seen in recent times when I'm driving around, quite a few foreigners drive pretty fast, and it's not fast because I'm slow. It doesn't look fast because I'm slow and I'm just old. They're generally driving, I think, a little bit slightly recklessly. I mean, maybe only 10 Ks an hour too fast, but it's just fast enough that I think you can get yourself into problems, you know. I think most of the time here, taking it easy is just the way to go. Wind it out occasionally, of course. I mean, we all do, but you got to pick your places. Any place that is slightly narrow, you know, even if it looks clear, all it takes is one small kid on one of those electric bikes to pull out, and you hit them and kill them. And not only is their life over, but your life's over too. So it's just a bit of a community warning there, just sort of based on what I've seen happening in the past few days around here. Hey, thanks for coming along for the ride. Again, here in Sanur, beautiful weather, beautiful day, and I really appreciate being able to show this to you as I just stroll around on an afternoon walk. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with all things Sanur and the rest of Indonesia. I'll catch you next time, man. Sampai jumpa.